Okay, here I am. So anyway, I got done writing my rough drafts for my script for the movie I'm going to write, where I want to do a movie about how we've been taught evolution ass backwards. So I'm going to have to do it in 10-minute intervals because, like I said, this new stupid dumbasses who control this loser tube, and come up with the rules on what you got to follow in this stupid loser tube with these stupid idiots with their stupid fucking crappy do nothing rules that don't do anything. They just like the stupid thing where okay, yeah, if you do something over like 15 minutes on here, for some stupid fucking reason, you gotta put your stupid phone number in to verify. Now, like I keep saying in our videos, that is the stupidest idea anybody's ever come up with. Using the phone number to verify who you are. That is the stupidest thing. It had been a woke joke Democrat that came up with that idiotic idea. Okay, it doesn't matter. Like I said, anybody can get your effing phone number. It's the easiest thing to get is someone else's phone number. And guess what? Yeah, in the real world, people leave their phones places. They lose their phones. Okay, and I guarantee you, more people lose their phones than don't. Okay, that's how the real world works. But all these idiots make up these decisions on like LoserTube. They're lost in reality, forever childish Democrats. Yeah, they're good at programming computers, but that's it. They suck at everything else. They suck at anything else that has to do with the real world. The only thing they know how to do is program a computer. That's where it stops. They don't know how to think about anything else because they're too just, I don't know what their problem is. Okay, you got these people that they just want to try and make money off of doing anything. So they go, well, guess what? Let's help people. Let's help people. That's the easiest thing to do, to get paid to help people. Yeah, I don't want any of you dumbasses helping me anymore because you're a bunch of dumbasses. Literally. You never do me any good, nothing but harm because you're complete idiots. Okay? You're only good at programming computers. You need to stop it there. Quit suggesting stuff to people because you suck at it. Anyway, I'll do this. It's gonna be I'll do it in 10-minute intervals. This is my rough draft script, what I have so far. So, it's the rough draft, which means I'm going to be going through it a lot of times before it's the final one, and that one will be the best version. This is the first version. So I'm just having it right now. I'm going to read it. So 40,000 years ago, a small tribe of Neanderthals, I'm going to call them Neos. I'm going to make them short for Neos. A small tribe of Neos are building a huge ice fortress on top of the highest mountain in Siberia. The males take turns cutting out huge blocks of ice from a lake down below. Strap them to their backs. They climb up with them to the mountaintop, where they set them in place until they form a giant mountaintop igloo. Next, the men take off to hunt down some prey. After killing their share of woolly mammoths, they haul them back up inside their igloo mountaintop fortress. The men separate the carcass, putting the meat in one pile, the skin and bones in another. Their women cook the meat and make shelter and clothing out of the bones and hides. The women do that part, and they really did that part too. While they're busy, the men head back out to hunt down some predators. After returning each with mammoth polar bears, they skin them, making a one-piece jumpsuit complete with claws and teeth for weapons. They actually put on the skin bear. They like skin them where the arms and the claws are still attached to the carcass and the teeth, and they just put the on like a jumpsuit, and they can now they constructed to where they can use their arms to wield the arm of the skin of the polar bear, and the claws are still attached, so they can use them for like uniforms to like so they can just like go up to a bear and kill it its own way by wearing the suit, killing it by using But anyway, so then it goes. The women freeze the meat for later. I mean, they come back with they do the same thing with they skin the bear. The men wear them for they use these bear costumes they make with they got the actual teeth and claws, and they go out and they wear these suits when they go hunt now. So they can fight like a bear because now they're wearing this bear suit with teeth and claws, whatever. So anyway, so the women freeze the meat, whatever, for later, because then they eat the meat too. After they use a complete animal. So for thousands of years they remain the rulers, the sole rulers of the planet. Some thousand years later, the world begins to thaw. New species emerge. A new breed of humans are being born. I'm going to call the Cro-Magnon men. I'm going to call them the Cro-Mags. Just the Cro-Mags. The Cro-Mags. Smaller, a little smaller, and more cunning. They're not smarter, they're more cunning. They're more cunning because nowadays people aren't getting smarter, they're getting more cunning. They're getting more backstabbing. They're getting more weasel rat like. That's what the next generation of humans are getting, more weasel rat like. So, smaller and more cunning. They have no choice but to befriend the Neanderthals, the Neos, and learn their ways of surviving in the harsh land. The Neo men teach the Cro-Mag men to make weapons and how to use them to hunt for food. The Neanderthal women teach the Cro-Mag women how to skin and how to skin the prey, cook the meat, and build from their skin and bones, like shelter. So the igloo is like the overall, and they build like tents inside the igloo, and they live actually in the tents built out of hide, but they're inside the mammoth igloo dome, kind of like. So the Cro-Mags begin to breed like animals. They soon overpopulate the land with their kind. Okay, and then it goes. One day the Cro-Magnon men, are sitting around a fire. One of them throws in a chunk of iron ore by mistake. He wakes the next freezing morning and finds the chunk of iron ore melted into a hard, flat steel shaped like the tip of a spear, only much lighter and sharper than the ones made of rock. The Neanderthals taught them how to make them out of rock. How they made out of rock. Well, now they by accident they learned. This guy threw in a chunk of iron ore into the fire, and it burned and it melted, and then the freezing overnight hardened it into steel. So then it goes. He finishes it. He fastens he gets that metal piece that's shaped like a spear now. He fastens it to a shaft, like a wood shaft, and goes to test it out. He hunts a woolly mammoth. He hits a woolly mammoth with it. It pierces its thick hide like nothing. He tells the other Cro-Mag warriors about his new discovery. They soon replace their weapons made from crude, dull rocks with a new, flat, harder, sharper steel. They begin taking out the prey at a much quicker pace and begin rapidly expanding their village. They now call it a town. Their population explodes in no time. They begin to encroach on the Neos' land. They have a meeting with them. After finding out after the Neanderthals find out that the Cro-Magnon men, um, about their new steel making ability, they become angry. The Neanderthals already knew how to make steel, but chose not to, for it ended up doing them more damage than good by poisoning the water where they used to live, and making it easier to take out the prey made them get carried away and wipe out their food source. So basically, what happened is they learned just because they could make steel, it made life easier. It actually started doing more harm because you do the metal urging thing, you got to like freeze it, like you got to let it freeze, right? And so you see the ice age. This is a time where everything started melting, and water started becoming more everywhere. People need the water, and what happened was the steel urging. The Neanderthals already learned this because they had some water where they used to live, and when they were making the steel, the method they used to make it is it had to contact water somehow, and the steel ended up poisoning all the water, which killed half their tribe where they were before, and then it made the hunting too easy where they got carried away and took out too many of the species around, and it killed their food source. So they said, they were sort of like, just because we can make something doesn't mean we should, you know, and so that's why they stopped making the metal, and now they found out that these Cro-Magnon men figured out how to do it by accident, and they got mad because they told them, they go, you don't want to go down that path because it actually ends up worse. because it's going to poison all your water making the steel, and then you're going to get carried away because it's so easy to kill the animals now. You're going to kill them at a much faster rate, and you're going to destroy your food source.